If you've ever wanted the Logitech MX keys but weren't willing to pay the $100+ price, this may be the solution for you. At this point, the MX keys is an absolute legend of a keyboard. It's been the king of the ultra low profile, laptop-like keyboards for some time, and rightfully so. Now, Logitech has introduced this, the Signature Slim K950. It's got almost all of the components that make the MX keys so great, but at a $30 discount. So is this the new standard or just a cheap imitation? Let's find out. If you're familiar with the MX keys, then the overall design of the K950 will feel very familiar. It's a beautiful, full-size keyboard with everything you need to be productive throughout your day. It's made of very basic, light plastics, but it still has a solid overall feeling that gives you a sense of quality. If you compare it directly to the keys, you'll definitely notice that it's not as premium, but it's still quite nice on a standalone basis. It comes in two colors, graphite and off-white. In the stock photos on Logitech's website, the graphite, which is the one I have here, looks to have a bit more color contrast than mine does in real life. It looks fine, but in most lighting, it looks more like black on black than it does as it's pictured online. The three largest changes in the overall design of the K950 compared to the MX keys is the removal of backlighting, changing to a non-rechargeable battery, and the addition of some adjustable feet on the back for typing angles. Removing backlighting is the biggest potential deal breaker, but it does help immensely with battery life. Now, foregoing the rechargeable battery found in the MX keys, they replaced it with two AAA batteries, and that'll last up to 36 months. That's 3 years of use without bothering to think about your state of charge, which is pretty awesome. The addition of feet is also a welcome design change. It's one that I'd love to see on a future version of the MX keys. In this case, the angle goes from slightly below that of the MX keys to just above it at 8 degrees of angle with the feet all the way out. In use, this slightly higher angle doesn't really feel that much different than the typing angle of the MX keys, but it's always nice to have some options. Typing on the K950 is good, but every time I do, it leaves me wanting to go back to the MX keys. This feeling starts with the keycaps, which are flat and very basic. The plastic material used is a totally normal one for Logitech keyboards, but it's simply not as nice as the soft touch material that's used on the MX keys. Similarly, I miss the concave shape present on the MX keys. They're a defining characteristic of the typing experience and one that is missed on this cheaper version. Now, outside of the material and shape, the typing experience is very similar. The key switches used are likely the same, or at least very similar, and the only perceptible difference for me is a slightly different sound. Personally, I'm partial to the sound of the MX keys. It's a bit more delicate in my opinion, but either one is soft, quiet, and totally acceptable, especially for a productivity-focused keyboard like this. Neither one is loud enough to upset a nearby neighbor, and both sounds are something that I could get used to in the long run. Now, the area where this new keyboard truly shines is with its functionality and features. Despite the materials and typing experience being slightly inferior to the MX keys, when it comes to the features offered, there's pretty much nothing missing. The K950 supports multi-device connectivity for up to 3 devices via either Bluetooth or the included Logibolt USB receiver. Much like on the full-size MX keys, there are dedicated buttons on the top, which makes switching devices super easy. And therefore, both of these keyboards are the ultimate option for jumping between multiple computers, tablets, phones, and more. An important call out is that both of these keyboards are wireless only. In particular, because this doesn't have a rechargeable battery, there isn't even a USB port to plug into in the first place, so your only options to connect are through wireless means. The key layout is almost identical to that of the MX keys. It does maintain two of my largest gripes about the MX keys, which is putting the function button on the right side of the board rather than the left, and using this oversized escape key, which causes the number row to be slightly misaligned from the function row. Across that function row, there are a few changes from the original MX keys and from the newer MX keys S. These changes arise primarily from the fact that without any backlighting, this keyboard doesn't need buttons to increase and decrease backlight brightness. When you compare it to the original MX keys, in addition to those brightness controls, it also removes the Show Hide Desktop button. And in their place, it's going to add three keys: a mute mic button, a dictation button, and an emoji button. If you're instead comparing it to the latest MX keys S, those new keys are already present. So the changes you'll notice in place of the backlighting controls are buttons for mission control and launchpad. Finally, away from the function row, Logitech has changed the insert button to be a dual purpose as a language switch button if you're utilizing multiple different languages. At $80, the K950 is an intriguing value. It has all of the incredible features that make the MX keys so successful, minus the backlighting and rechargeable battery, that is. Now, the materials and typing experience are ever so slightly worse, but still totally enjoyable and effective. If money were no object, I'd recommend the MX keys 10 out of 10 times. However, it is hard to argue that this isn't a great keyboard at a more reasonable price. In fact, if you're just looking for a full-size keyboard with multi-device connectivity, this is the cheapest way to get it, at least from Logitech. It's a very difficult decision. Further complicating that decision are two items. First is the fact that this keyboard is available in the MK955 bundle, which pairs it with the signature M750 mouse for a total of $100. That mouse, which adds just $20 to the price, is typically in the $40 to $50 range standalone, which makes it a very intriguing combo if you're in need of a full desk replacement. However, there's one very important call out. It's not made very clear on Logitech's website, but the version of the mouse that's included is specifically a large version of the mouse, which is designed for large hands. I tried the large size during my review of the signature M550 mouse, I'll link that down in the description, and it's dimensionally the same as the M750. From reviewing that mouse, I can definitely confirm that this one could be very uncomfortable for many people, and I wish that Logitech called this out more clearly so that you knew what you would be getting is that large mouse. The second complication is a new competitor. It's right here. It's the Keychron B6 Pro, and it's brand new and very similar, but it's priced at just $45. I've only just begun testing at the time of filming, but early signs point to it being a pretty solid option, so that full review will be coming out soon. Overall, the K950 is an interesting keyboard with high-end features at a price that's slightly more palatable than the premium MX keys. If you want to learn more about the MX keys, you can watch my review video linked down in the video description. If you want to pick up either the MX keys or the K950 for yourself, there's affiliate links down in the description as well. If you enjoyed this video, you may like my review of Logitech's Casa pop-up desk. It features another ultra-low profile keyboard, but this one's different. It's designed for traveling with an included trackpad and laptop stand. It's a really unique product, and it's worth taking a look at. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.